everybody needs to stand up and fight against this. Say no to JCP&L.
Well, Bill, Kristen Luna Nuova and her neighbors are angry, scared actually, the way they put it. Jersey City Power and Light wants to put a new 230,000 volt high tension line along the railroad easement that runs through their Middletown neighborhood. They're worried about EMFs.
They're dangerous. They are highly dangerous. And I am worried about children getting leukemia. I am worried about other diseases and other things. We don't want to be guinea pigs.
The planned place where they plan on putting the poles will be 70 feet from the corner of our house. 70 feet.
70 feet
From
from the corner of your
right
house
there,
to the poles.
to the poles that they plan on installing.
On this side of the track.
Joe and Bernice Curto do not have children, Bill, but they're worried about their health as well as that of their property values.
This is our dream house. We have our life savings invested in this house. We figured on living here many, many years, but if these power lines go up, we don't know what we're going to do.
The lines, Bill, would run down the tracks for 10 miles from Red Bank to Aberdeen. JCP&L says the line will help build reliability and redundancy for regional customers, helping to keep the lights on in case of storms or other outages. Spokesman Ron Morano told me that studies show that neighborhood fears of EMFs are overblown and unfounded.
The research, based upon their findings, show that there is no association between power lines and long-term health effects.
Okay, my understanding is that's debatable because I've got a medical source who's a long-term doctor who says it's not 100%
Well,
true.
hey, and again, here's what I would tell you. There are power lines that crisscross this country. There are lines of existence that are similar to the one we're proposing in this area. The science on this clearly states that there's no association.
My medical source is Dr. Charles Simone of the Simone Protective Cancer Center in Lawrence. He and I went to some older, lower, high power lines, and they do trip up the Gauss meter.
Wow. How you like that? So here we are, a few feet away from the tower itself, and it zooms right up there.
Right.
Dangerous, Hank.
Yes, sir. And while Dr. Simone is realistic, he acknowledges that proximity to telephone poles, cell phones, microwave ovens, computers, you name it, they all expose us to EMFs. He says if it were his neighborhood, he'd be upset too.
Let's say your children were 5, 6, 7 years old growing up in this neighborhood, how would you feel?
Not well. Little bodies are more susceptible. In fact, the men who work on these high-tension wires have a higher risk of leukemia and breast cancer as well.
Now, Bill, at the end of the day, the utility tried to run the same lines 30 years ago. It was defeated by community groups. Some of those very same people are opposing it today. The Regional Power Authority that controls power across 13 states, they say that the lines are necessary.
The mayor has said they're going to have more hearings.
They will.
Can the town get together and shoot it down? Or?
No, the BPU can shoot it down. There'll be a meeting very soon with the BPU, and everybody's yelling for the BPU to shoot down the utility.
Unless you're hit by thunder, your health is not jeopardized.
Hit by thunder.
We're talking about power
That's
lines.
a
Yeah,
lot
unless you're
of
hit by thunder.
thunder hissings.